One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
See if it's me. Hello? Good morning. Can you hear me? I did something to my computer. I'm assuming all is well. All is well. Good morning, everyone out there, in here. Welcome, everybody, live and in person to SoulCall Global. It's SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero, and I am so excited this morning because coming to you live from Italia, we've got Reverend Christy Hardwick, who's going to be joining us for the message this morning. And the message will be as good as it gets. Woohoo! From Michelle Fott. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And whether you're watching us now as we roll it out live or later, we welcome you. We know sometimes Sundays people like to hustle about, but Caroline, I keep saying this, here comes the light, here comes the sun. It's a little chilly, it's sweater weather here in Ohio, finally. I'm not sure how happy everybody is or not happy about that. I like sweater. Yeah, we got one person clapping. What is the sound of one hand clapping? It's Janice. But this morning we're going to begin, as we begin every Soul Call Sunday, with the practice of Qigong, which is an ancient Chinese medicine, a traditional Chinese medicine, where we use body, mind, spirit, tuning our mind's intention to pulling the energy in from the cosmos, that cosmic intelligence that is within us in every one of our cells. And also, when I'm looking at you, you're all looking at me up there, so I'm just going to look at you from here. Hi, people in the room. It's really funny. When there's it's something about that. When there's a screen in the room, it's just like, whoop, yeah. There are two of me, so my hair's twice as big. Awesome, I like it. I like it. But when there's traditional Chinese medicine happening, pulling in the energy that surrounds us at all times into the trillions of cells of our being, we can nourish, supercharge these beautiful bodies with mind's intention. So it's a body, mind, spirit. So that every step we take, we are present. We are present in all of it. And so we encourage you, wherever you are in the room, find a little space and practice this opportunity for Qigong with Deborah Weisenberger-Libbitz.
We are continuing to practice in the seated healing position. Again, we are going to move from side to side slowly. So please, the legs should be at a 90-degree angle, and you cannot be against the chair. Okay, we need to move. So please, look forward from inside the mind's home, Shenji Palace, outward through Yin Tang to merge with infinite space. From there, gather all the healing, chi, love, wisdom, and pull it back through Yin Tang to the center of the head, and very gently close the eyes. Now, with the eyes closed, all senses are inside. We can completely relax from tip to toe. We are connected above, grounded below, and we become the chi in between and a part of all things, merging us together, heart to heart and mind to mind as one. Now please allow your hands and arms to be pulled up to a comfortable place in front of the chest. Relax the hands, holding a chi ball through the hands and arms. The entire chi field in this space. Very safe, very comfortable. And this moves surrounding us from tip to toe in the front, above the head, behind us, both sides and below us. Relax. Now place your mind's consciousness in between the kidneys. Open Mingmang in between the kidneys, Mingmang area, the gate of life vitality. Place everything in the Qi field. The Qi transforming. Then slowly turn to the left, inside and out, or Qi circling and spiraling. To the right, transforming, uniting, healing. To the left, very easy, relax, transform, right. Continue turning, circling, spiraling, transforming. Very easy, safe, comfortable. All one. Inside out, circling, spiraling, transforming. Eventually, move back to the front and stop. Then bring this huge Qi field inside by placing the centers of the palms on top of the navel, and very slowly open the eyes, smiling from the inside out.
Welcome back. I'm going to turn this camera a little bit so that Janice can be seen. She's like, oh, that's okay. That's all right. All of us. So we're going to take that calmness, that joy, and we're going to bring it into a meditation with a call and response. This coming Wednesday, we're doing Kirtan at the Dempsey Event Center in the sanctuary space. And we wrote this new chant. Simple. It's peace, peace, peace surrounding me. Right? Don't stress out over it. You'll get it. You'll lose your, I won't lose my peace. Trying to sing. Here we go. Peace. 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 Peace surrounding me. Peace. 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 Peace surrounding me. Peace surrounding me. Peace. follow the breath for a moment. We'll come out of this meditation with a song called To Make You Feel My Love after about a minute or so. Just feel that pulsating joy and energy. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, there's no one to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. Known it from the moment that we met. There's no doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. Storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret. Winds of change are blowing wild and free, but you ain't seen nothing like me yet. Could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There is nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the end of the earth for you to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lisa and Natalia. What beautiful sounds and words and sentiment. I just love that song before and love it even more with the two of them singing it. Make you feel my love. I was thinking about when I was first becoming a minister and I was studying the ministry, and it was a 4-year program with lots of classes, lots of different approaches. And one of the classes we had was the metaphysical Bible. So the person was teaching us about how we could read the Bible in a way that was going to be really valuable to us. I happened to be someone who was a student of the Bible because my mother was a student of the Bible, and we needed to study and we needed to read and need to memorize all the books and books of the Bible and say them out loud and repeat scripture. But I didn't really connect it with myself. I just thought they were really nice words sometimes scary words. And so I studied and I memorized, but I didn't really have any connection with it. When I took this class, what the person taught me was, what if you put yourself in the place of every person in the Bible stories? So every single person, whether it's the prodigal son or whether it's the father or the other brother, whether it's Cain or whether it's Abel, whether it's you are the one who is parting the sea or you're the one who is chasing behind the people who are enslaved that are freeing themselves. You put yourself in every one of those places. And from that perspective, you see what you might be able to learn. And I thought this was fascinating, this idea of being Isaac and being Isaac's son, where he was thinking about being Abraham and then being Isaac, Abraham's son, where Abraham was thinking about actually sacrificing his son because he thought that's what he needed to do. And me being the one who's laying there seeing my father, raising something toward me, and then me being the father and imagining what that might be like. So it completely changed everything about how I saw some of the stories and the accounts in the Bible. Because when I read some of the stories before, I found them, interesting, sometimes, as I said, scary, but again, not ever really applying to me directly because I couldn't relate to any of the people in the stories a lot of times. But when I decided to put myself in the position of every person, then I had to examine my own values. Would I be the Good Samaritan? Would I help the woman at the well? Would I be the woman? Would I ask for help? Who would I be in those circumstances? And why? What was I believing about life and people and opportunities? And what did my love really look like when it came to being in action? So that changed things for me. And I began to look at everything that way. I had always thought that anything that was written was inspired, right? Because they talk about the Bible and the Quran and different holy books and scriptures being those things that were written through human beings, but of God. I began to see things as all of it of God, because if we have this idea that there's only one life, one energy that connects us all, then everything must be of it. Therefore, books, comics, poetry, opera, all of God. Now, it may be being expressed at the level of that person's understanding and how much they allow to come through and how clear they allow things to come through. But I began to see it all as having value because all of it was expressions of God. God as this or God as that. And I had the opportunity to look at it and say, who do I want to be in this circumstance? What do I want to take from this? What can I learn? How is my heart resonating or not resonating with what I'm hearing? Then I went on to think about one of my favorite things in the whole world, which is movies. I love watching a good movie. And I see movies as I do even Holy Scripture and beautiful opera and different ways of expressing. These are ideas that come through a person depending on what blocks they have in place, how much their heart is open or not open, what fears they have. All of that comes through in what they write for us to see and experience. So if we put ourselves in the position of the people in our favorite movies, Firstly, we ask ourselves, why is something my favorite? Why do I love it so much? It's because we have some feeling and affiliation for the people in it, for the storyline, for what happens, because it's something we either aspire to or hope for, or we just love watching it be reenacted. So movies, to me, are like looking at the scripture in the way that that teacher showed me. What if I put myself in the position of each of these characters? What would that mean? Can I not just align myself with the one I'm most comfortable with, but align myself with every person and see through their eyes? So one of the films that I watch over and over again, and I actually really appreciate, is a film called As Good as It Gets. And if you haven't seen it, it's with Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson in the main roles. And there are several characters there, just like there are in any of the scriptural stories that we have read. So there's Melvin, who is an obsessive compulsive author, quite fearful of almost everything, even cracks in the sidewalk. And then there's Carol, who's a waitress, and she has a son who has asthma, who suffers constantly, and she's a very long-suffering mother who doesn't get any sleep because she's always rushing her son to the emergency room. So she's long-suffering. Melvin with his OCD and his fear, and Carol with her son and his illness and her long-suffering approach to things. And then there's Simon. And Simon is a gay man who happens to be an artist. And he's lovely, and he has an innocence about him. He trusts people. He sees people as good. And it's a lovely way of being. And then there's Frank, who's the artist's manager, Simon's manager. He's fierce. He is all about representing Simon and making sure Simon gets what Simon should have. And his fierceness is what he leads with. So you have Melvin being fearful, and Carol being long-suffering, and Simon being innocent and trusting, and Frank being fierce. As they evolve in the film, we get to watch human beings grow. And how do human beings grow? How do we grow? We grow in interaction with each other. We grow by being together and seeing what happens. So the plot in this film for me is about the possibility of growth for all of us. And as good as it gets is a term that Melvin uses. He says, what if this is as good as it gets? That's his question in this film. But he learns something, and things shift and change for him. He ends up wanting something more than what he fears. His fear took a second row seat to a front row seat of the possibility of love and connection. So he learned that it was possible for him to move beyond his fears. And Carol, who hadn't in the past accepted really respite or help, she learned that there were blue skies that were right behind all the storms of her life and all the difficulty that were always ever there. And for her to accept this idea of respite and help. Now, Simon ended up being harmed because he was so trusting and innocent. But he learned that people are good. So he didn't give up the idea that people are good. But he did learn that he needed to pay attention to their behavior and really see if the person was trustworthy or not. So when Melvin asks, what if this is as good as it gets? He's asking that with his context of limitation and the finite nature of things, time and human conditions binding and bounding what's possible for him. The beauty of watching films or reading stories or reading scriptures or reading or listening to anything is that we have a different perspective from which to see it, because we are understanding that the universal source of energy, creativity, life itself is unlimited. The nature of spirit aspect of us, not our human condition, but our spirit, our consciousness, the creativity that comes through us is unlimited. So unlike the character in this movie, we don't have to say, is this as good as it gets? We can shift. We can ask a different question. We can make a shift with our imagination that's unlimited. What if we take this character, each of them, the one that's fearful, the one that's long-suffering, the one that's innocent and trusting, the one that's fierce, and say, I wonder how good this can get. I wonder how much of my fear I can overcome. I wonder how much love I can accept, right? I wonder if I can release some of this suffering. They don't have to be long suffering. I wonder how much help I can receive and accept, how much help I can give and receive. And I wonder how good people can be. And I wonder how much clearer I can become about who to bring into my closest circle. Isn't it wonderful to think, how good can this get? And the artist manager, Frank, who was so fierce, what if his question was, I wonder how good this can get? This fierceness. Can this fierceness also allow me to be approachable? He wasn't very approachable. He only led with fierceness. That's all he had. And each of these people in this story thought, this is as good as it gets. This is the most that I can hope for. And this is pretty good. If we allow that to be where we're stopped, then it also stops us to imagining a greater world and more for everyone, not just ourselves. So if we can become the people who imagine, I wonder how good this can get. How much more peace could we experience? How much more connection could we experience? Many of the people in this story were sort of at odds with each other in the beginning. They almost looked like enemies. But it was through the possibility of understanding, through the possibility of saying, this could get better, that they all ended up coming together in a way that was surprising to each of them. Now, I know that there's been so much discussion of late, and we've just gone through some very contentious elections and are still finishing up in the United States. And we might feel like we're all on opposite sides. But it's possible for us to be in each of the people that we're seeing that may have different ideas than us, to see from their perspective, and then to imagine on their behalf and ours, how good could this get? How much better could this be? What am I willing to let go of in terms of the fears I'm holding? Who am I willing to trust and how am I willing to trust? How can I be fierce and also approachable? Fierce about the protection of rights, fierce about making sure that everyone has equal access, and still be approachable, to be a person who helps and who teaches. It's all possible. We can be each of those characters at different times. And we can choose, we can make choices because of the unlimited nature of expression. We are unlimited beings. So as good as it gets is momentary, because in the next moment, it can get better. You and I can get better in every moment. Now I'll pause here because in New Thought teachings, when we teach about consciousness, we often will say there's nothing to heal, there's nothing to move, we don't have to get better because we're already whole. And this is true. And we are unaware of it most of the time. Most of the time, we are unaware of our wholeness and our inherent perfection in spirit. So we can get better at our awareness. And as we're more aware and more aligned, more good is flowing through us and into the world. So every person in our orbit, every person that's in our constellation, every person that we touch, even those that we don't know, almost especially those that we don't know. When we are kind, when we walk around the world with a smile, when we greet people with our eyes, when we say hello to someone, we help someone across a street, we hand out the bags of food that we do at SoulCall Global, all those things have a ripple effect and things get better. And in that moment when it feels like this is as good as it gets, let's relish that and feel that and be grateful for that. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful life I had. What a beautiful moment this is. And I'm open and receptive to greater and greater things. We can have a beautiful peace, as you all sang earlier. We can have a beautiful sense of love, and we can open to a greater and greater version of ourselves as life itself, and let it be as good as it gets and even greater. Let that be your way. Namaste.
Traveling down life's highway, full of goodness and grace. I wake up every morning with a smile on my face, 'cause I know everything I need to know. But I know there's still more to know. So I don't say no, let spirit flow and let it continue to grow. And know that I feel alright. Oh, when I'm flowing with the river of life, I feel alright. 'Cause I'm one with the love and light. I feel alright. When I'm flowing with the river of life, I feel alright. 'Cause I'm one with the love and light. You see, everything I need in the universe is right here, right where I am. It's all that I need to set myself free. I just give thanks and let it be. I can let myself see, oh, my good that comes to me. It's time to start to do my part and let it start living me. I know I am so full of love. Oh, I don't say no, the spirit flow and let it continue to grow. And know that I feel alright. Oh, when I'm going to the river of life, I feel alright. 'Cause I'm one with the love and light. I feel alright. Oh, when I'm going to the river of life, I feel alright. 'Cause I'm one with the love and filled with love and light. Said I feel alright. Flowing with the river of light. Said I feel alright right now. 'Cause I'm one with love and light. Said I feel alright right now. 'Cause I'm one with love and light. I feel alright. Said I feel alright in every part of my life. I feel alright. I said I feel alright in every part of my life. I feel alright. I said I feel alright in every part of my life. I feel alright when I'm flowing with the river. Oh, life is so good. Oh, when I'm flowing with the river of life. That's the way it is.
Oh my gosh. There's an echo, get that? Who doesn't love a little Andy, or a lot of Andy Anderson? I sure do. Let's hear it for Andy. Trying something different here. trying to, maybe we could turn the lights on. It's a little dark. It was like the clouds over the sky of Columbus. The last couple of days, we finally got some rain, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, so I can see you, but you're still going to look there anyways. This is the thing. It's such a psychological thing, isn't it? I'm bigger over there than I am over here. Let's hear once again for Reverend Christy Hardwick. What a beautiful talk. Thank you. Now, there are rumors floating around that we might do another Circle of Love gathering come spring. And if we can, we're trying to get Natalia and Christy and maybe Andy Anderson. Wouldn't you love to see him in person?
Yes.
Yeah, and just be contagious with that kind of joy. But thank you both for joining us this morning. And thank you all of you for joining us this morning. Wherever you are, we appreciate you and your consciousness changing the world one sliver of representation of the infinite at a time, right? Or in groups. We can have this effect on each other. I often say when you're walking down the street, as Christy was saying, you're just smiling through your eyes. If you're just walking down the street, somebody's like on the edge of, I could go this way or that way today, and boom, they bump into you. You put them over the edge of joy. We have that kind of power. And that's the kind of power to affect change. Once we change the world, change yourself, right? Just keep in contact with people who raise the vibration, amplify that joy, and carry it out into the world all the time. It's practicing that presence. 1 step, 2 steps. Before you know it, everybody's happy and dancing and flowing in the river of life. So in keeping with that, the 19th annual, what is it? Jazz Up the Holidays is coming to a city near you. We are going to be doing it live and in person here in Columbus, Ohio, Wednesday, November 30th. And tickets are on sale now for the in-person concert. It starts at 7 p.m. We've got a silent auction with wonderful, probably like 29 different things you can bid on from 6 to 7, silent auction time. The show, we hit, the downbeat is at 7 p.m. and you'll be out of there by 8:20. You can collect your winning item, get back in your comfy, cozy pajamas, and then watch it again on live stream. We're going to live stream it for those of you who can't make it to Columbus, Ohio. Everything is at soulcallglobal.org. You can get your in-person tickets there, or you can get the link, purchase the link to have your live stream party wherever you are on the planet. And we want to say thank you so much, because this year your contributions will go towards SoulCall Global and also a wonderful organization here called Motherful. And it's single moms helping single moms. A fantastic organization. You can find out more about that on our website, soulcallglobal.org. And also, we're going to take a chunk, just like $500, and send it to the Delaware County Animal Shelter, because there's so many. We have some connections to folks in the Delaware area, so we're going to try to spread it around a little bit. But most of it's going to go towards helping single parents with children and families. And what SoulCall is going to do is provide, part of our mission is to spark creativity, contemplation, and consciousness. So that expression creates the impression of who you are in the world. And we want to hear what little voices, little children are thinking. We want to see it. So we're going to get a couple of ukuleles. We're going to have those distributed to some shelters, and also art supplies. So your contributions really contribute to generations who are going to be creating the world when we're old. So let's take care of the young ones, huh? So thank you for that in advance. We appreciate it. The other thing is, so all your donations, you could send them to soulcallglobal.org/donate. We are on Amazon, not Prime, what is it called? Smile. Amazon Smile. Yeah, so if you look for SoulCall Inc., we're registered under there for all your holiday shopping. Make sure we're getting a piece of whatever Amazon wants to send our way, and I'll say thank you very much. And also Kroger, if you shop Kroger, we are there as well. You can find out more in our newsletter. You can sign up for the newsletter at soulcallglobal.org. Always beautiful poetry, images from around the world. Just lots of great things in our newsletter. I love our newsletter. So sign up for that. And we want to thank once again Christy Hardwick, who has a fabulous book available right now on Amazon as Radical Self-Tenderness. We have some of them here for sale if you don't have one already. She was here with us. But coming January, Christy's going to offer another class. So be on the lookout for that. More information is coming in the next couple of weeks. But we're just so grateful to have her as part of our Soul Squad and our team. Let's see, what else? We've got a class in session right now. Jazz Up the Holidays is really the big thing. And prayers. If you are in need of prayer, please drop us a line, an email at prayers@soulcallglobal.org. We want to thank Reverend Bonnie Anderson, Andy Anderson's wife, who is the one who's in charge of she's spearheading the team, the prayer team. She's marvelous, as is the team. We also have healing arts people. Our healing team is connected to the prayer team, and so we send remote Reiki and other forms of energy healing your way when you pray. And so take part in the prayer team if you're in need or you know somebody who is in need. We are happy to pray with you. So wherever you are on the planet, and we've got the opportunity to have little touch healings a couple seconds after service today if you're interested in just having a little reading on what you could do next in helping you supercharge yourself. Make sure you see our healers. So I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. And yeah, Jane's broken thumb. She feels the healing on her thumb. Good. Now she can text and drive. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So don't eat too much pasta, Reverend Christy from Italy. I know it's really hard. That's probably the most difficult thing to do for me. That would be too. Not eating too much pasta. You smell it everywhere. That's what I asked when we got on the call this morning. I said, "What does it smell like there?" All the pots must be, full right now. It's in the afternoon. So thank you so much. Give yourselves a hand for joining us live in person. Next week, our musical offering is Jesse Powers. So spread the word. Join us next week. I'll be offering the talk next week with Jesse Powers and Sifu Helen Yi, who also has a class coming up again on November 23rd, right before Thanksgiving. Get your chi going so you can digest all your turkey. Info at SoulCallGlobal.org has more information, and you can sign up, but it'll be right here at 8 a.m. in this room. So once again, thank you all. Let's just take this into a moment of, I want to thank Natalia Zuckerman. She's with us today. So nice to have you in the back line again and see you on the screen, us together singing. I love that so much. But just sending out the positive vibrations. May we awaken to our inherent brilliance. May we always be present to the presence, awakened with the one who's thinking our thoughts, walking through our feet, smiling through our eyes, thinking through our thoughts, speaking through our voices, singing through our hearts. Make our weeks abundant with worthwhile accomplishments, and always, O infinite beloved, with your constant presence and blessedness. May we find in ourselves the light of truth, and may we help be the divine flame that runs amidst the thickets and light the match of love in the hearts of all. Om Shanti. Peace. Amen. Until next time, peace and blessings. And remember, wherever you are, you are loved.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.